the record labels.
LA told me you'll be a pop star. All you have to change is everything you are.
Or like puppets on strings being controlled by the guys in suits behind them. But nothing has been more covered up and scarier than the dark world of K-pop. First, we're going to talk about a guy named Henry Prince Mac.
Hey guys, it's your boy Henry Prince Mac here.
He was a former member of a K-pop group called JJCC. So he made a video where he talked about all of the dark secrets of K-pop, and it shocked a lot of fans.
You could be working, 24 hours in a day. Imagine doing that for 10 years for maybe like $0 a day, $2 a day if you're lucky, for 10 years.
Now he refers to the contracts that the K-pop stars sign as slave contracts. Yeah.
A slave contract is usually about 10 to 15 years average. They have terms like no dating, dieting, some even have like plastic surgery. That's a slave contract.
When you're a K-pop star, everything in your life is monitored. Your diet, your weight, your hair, your dating life. And then when it's all over, they're left with nothing.
An average idol debuts at the age of 19. 10 years later, they're 29. Contract finishes. It's time to go to army.
The law requires every male to serve the military, and it is extremely hard to get out of it.
You're in the army for 2 years.
Many top stars have enlisted into the military these past few years.
You come out 32, you don't have a uni degree, you don't have money, you don't have a girlfriend, and you've got nothing.
Now these K-pop stars that are being controlled by their record labels are so overworked that they literally pass out on stage.
An average workday lasts 20 hours, which is probably why being hospitalized for exhaustion is just par for the course when you're a K-pop star.
Here's a clip of a girl named Crystal from the group FX. There's actually so many clips of her passing out that there's compilations on YouTube. But this isn't new. K-pop stars have been passing out on stage for years. It even happens when they're live streaming. Now, fans of BTS started noticing that during their live performances, some of the members were getting tired. They'd be vomiting off the side of the stage. And sometimes after a show, they'd even have to be hospitalized.
근데 제가 그렇게 쓰러질 줄 몰랐어요.
Now listen, it's not just K-pop stars that are treated like this. The amount of music videos from American artists where they're hinting at feeling like robots or feeling controlled by their record labels is insane. Christina Aguilera, Demi Lovato, Lady Gaga. And being treated like a slave in the music industry is very common, especially when you're in a group. Just listen to this leaked audio clip of Fifth Harmony member Lauren Jareggi talking about the management.
Decisions on a regular basis to fuck us over, to make us literal slaves, like literally slaves, Allie. We're doing fucking labor every day and we see nothing.
And then there was another audio clip that got leaked of member Camila Cabello.
Sorry I couldn't come down today. It's okay. They were actually working us to the fucking bone. Like we did like literally 5 songs.
Then after those leaked, there was a Q&A with fans, and Lauren said this.
I'm wondering if you had any advice for someone trying to go into the music industry, like myself. Read your contracts.
Now, me and Lauren Jareggi have been actually following each other on Twitter for a while now. We both came out as bisexual. We have a lot of little things in common.
Fifth Harmony's Lauren Jareggi comes out as bisexual.
Shane Dawson, he is bisexual.
So I reached out and asked if she would want to talk to us about that clip and also about the possible slave contracts in the record industry. And she responded and said because of all the contracts she signed, she can't say a word.
Oh, guys, I cannot. My voice is a shot.
I need you. We're gonna get through it, okay? Like we always do.
Now, somebody that did talk a lot about it was Michael Jackson.
I'm not supposed to say what I'm gonna say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
He even went on stage one night with a sign that said, Sony kills.
Please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Tommy Mottola is a devil. Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy,
The singer is separating from her husband, Sony Music President Tommy Mottola.
came to me crying. She said to me, "This is an evil man."
I don't think there was ever a moment when she had control of her own image while she was at Sony.
Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones, and he's very, very evil.
You know that it has been written that you were a virtual hostage in that house.
All right.
That's right, Sony, the same label that was forcing Kesha to work with somebody that she was terrified of.
A judge rules that Kesha will remain under contract with Sony.
Now, Prince was also very vocal about this as well.
And we live in a place now that feels just about like a plantation. We're all indentured servants.
He even performed one night with Slave sharpied on his face. Now, Michael Jackson and Prince were two of the only pop stars that were speaking out against record labels. And then, mysteriously, they died in a very similar way.
The suspected overdose of the king of pop.
Prince died of an accidental drug overdose.
Then, of course, you have Kanye, who's been throwing around the word slavery a lot in the press.
Slavery.
What if he's hinting at the slavery in the music industry?
Please.
We're all indentured servants.
I mean, one of the biggest examples of artists who might be dropping clues is Britney Spears. Now, if you look at the titles of her songs on her first CD, everything was fun. Baby One More Time, Soda Pop. Then on her next album, it got a little darker. Lucky, a song that was about a pop star who was miserable and scared.
This is a story about a girl named Lucky.
Then her next album, Lonely, Overprotected, Let Me Be, and of course, and if you look at the record label that she's owned by, it's called Jive, which, you guessed it, is owned by Sony. And if you're wondering what record label Fifth Harmony was under, it was called Epic Records, owned by Sony.
Literal slaves.
And guess who Camila Cabello's with now? Sony.
Camila Cabello has been hospitalized. This girl has a lot on her plate right now, and she just doesn't stop.
I'll never be the same.
So what does all of this have to do with BTS? Well, very recently, BTS signed with Columbia Records in America. And guess who owns Columbia Records? Sony.
Real quickly, we'll come right back to you. We've got some breaking news in LA where the coroners have finally formally released Michael Jackson's cause of death.
They have determined that Michael Jackson's death back on June 25th was a homicide.
Read your contracts.